Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to the 8 p.m. Atlanta News First Plus stream. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin here with a check of your First Alert forecast. A lot to talk about tonight. Initially, it's all good news. Stunning weather in the First Alert forecast, but we do have big changes on the way, including rounds of rain and the risk of widespread showers and thunderstorms back in the First Alert forecast. So just keep that in mind. We do have wet weather in the forecast after a brilliant Sunday, a transition Monday, and then First Alert weather days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Keep in mind, a First Alert weather day just meaning a day that has weather that will maybe throw you off a bit, impact your routine, slow your commute, impact errands, have your students, your kiddos' after-school activities canceled or shifted around. Sometimes it's a big change in temperature, sometimes it's a risk of severe weather, and sometimes it's just a day's worth of gloomy, wet and rainy weather in the First Alert forecast. So we're going to be watching this for you here pretty closely. I do want to start with a live look outside right now from the Atlantic building in Atlantic Station, looking back to the east, and it is a gorgeous day out there. Lots of sunshine, just some high wispy clouds, giving us a gorgeous sunset. Again, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. Thank you for tuning in and for watching this edition of the First Alert Forecast. Let's go ahead and get to it outside. We're going to jump over to our weather graphics, and again, starting with another live look. This is a different vantage point from downtown. This is Centennial Olympic Park, and it's a stunning evening out there. Temperature still a little bit on the cool side, but we do have a pleasant, sunny Sunday in the First Alert Forecast. So again, we are watching gorgeous weather. Again, that's all we really have going on here for the next little bit. And then big changes. This time of year, inevitably, there will be changes in the forecast. There will eventually be stormier weather back in the First Alert forecast. But let's go outside right now. Again, that's a live look. Current temperatures outside, comfortably cool, 61 at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Relative humidity, look how low that is, 30%. So dry air. Because we have a cool air mass in place, we only warmed into the 60s today, just a smidge below average. Dry air, lighter breeze, in a brilliantly clear sky. Temperatures are going to really tumble this evening. You will still want the jacket, maybe a coat out the door in the morning. And I want to remind you, as we get deeper into the stream, we are streaming on many platforms this evening, AtlantaNewsFirst.com and the First Alert Weather app, Atlanta News First app. YouTube, though, is the place to go if you have weather questions, comments, concerns. Again, I'm watching the comment feeds right now. Wesley Millsap, hello to you, checking in from Ackworth, he says. And thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And we'll continue to keep you updated right here, streaming on all platforms. But if you have any weather questions, you need a part of the forecast, maybe explain just a little bit further. This is what makes the Atlanta News First Plus streams really cool, not just for weather, but also in the breaking news department and in that aspect as well. Date night forecast tonight. It's a Saturday evening. Hopefully you are getting out, having a little bit of fun out there. It's gorgeous stuff. Nice weather. Temperatures just warmer than 60 at the moment. We will cool, though, pretty quickly here over the next maybe 30 to 45 minutes. The sun about to completely set. Technically is set, but we still have a little bit of light out there, as you saw on those cameras. It will be dark here momentarily, and all of the warmth, the milder conditions we have accumulated through the day, that warmth will escape back up into space, so temperatures dropping pretty quickly. Plan on temperatures out the door in the morning and the lower 40s inside the perimeter I-285. Though outside of I-285, a little colder, 38 Kennesaw, 37 McDonough, 38 Douglasville, upper 30s to near 40 outside of I-285. Inside the perimeter, 42, 43, pretty common. Downtown, Midtown, Buckhead, Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta International Airport, more pavement, a little bit on the milder side there. Still jacket-worthy, but not quite as chilly. Case in point, Blairsville, a little bit more rural, less pavement, and you're higher in elevation. Frost possible tomorrow morning. Some of our mountain peaks, another light freeze. 36 Rome. Could also be some patchy frost up in Floyd County. Keep in mind, the only areas under a frost advisory, it's Fannin County, Union County, Towns County, that area up into Rabun County, Habersham County, and then back into the upstate of South Carolina, kind of the northeast little fringe, the border of Georgia with North Carolina and South Carolina and eastern Tennessee. In town, chilly, but no frost inside the perimeter. Go ahead and get that coffee hot tomorrow morning. It will be chilly, considering it's April and how gorgeous it was today. Don't want to say it's a shock to the system. We've now had a few pretty chilly mornings out there. Nonetheless, you will be reminded then we still have some chilly air in place out the door tomorrow morning, though not as cold as the past couple of mornings. We made it down into the upper 30s this morning, 42 tomorrow morning, and we're warming up pretty quickly. A noticeable jump up in our temperature as we get into the day tomorrow, with temperatures by noon already back in the 60s. Keep in mind, mid-60s are high today. We're going low to mid-70s in the first alert forecast tomorrow. Also, minor change here, but you may notice a few more clouds streaming in. 70 by 3 p.m., 74 at 5 p.m. High temperature, being reached about 4:30, 5:30 in the afternoon. Back to 73 by 7 p.m., and then we'll drop back just a little bit more tomorrow evening, though not as cool as this evening as that warming trend continues. All right, let's take it outside of the city of Atlanta. Gainesville, if you're spending a sunny Sunday up on Lake Lanier, a little cooler on the northeast side, still warmer than 70. Breeze not too bad. Of course, we know our lake temperatures: Lanier, Allatoona, Sinclair, and Oconee, Lake Raven, up in Raven County. It is they're all pretty cool. Still, it is only early to mid-April, so not the best day to swim in the lake, but if you're on the boat, not too bad. 73 in Athens, Rome 76. Noonan is at 76 as well. Now, another activity going on tomorrow, as we know, of course, Braves clinching that win last night against the Diamondbacks. Game today, game tomorrow. Tomorrow's game, 1:35, first pitch. And it's, of course, up at Truist Park in Cobb County. Gorgeous weather. Back into the mid to upper 60s by first pitch. And I think as we get into that 3 o'clock time frame, 7th inning stretch, lots of sunshine. Make sure you are wearing sunscreen, especially on that third baseline. I put on a little bit of sunscreen, but you can kind of see on the big old forehead here a little bit of a burn. So it was a little bit bright yesterday. It is cool, yes, but it's early to mid-April. The sun angle getting a little higher. UV indices getting a little bit higher. Even though I did apply some SPF, I still got a little bit of a burn. So make sure you are applying and then reapplying if you're headed out to the game tomorrow, especially that third baseline. It is going to be very, very bright, very sunny. All right, we've talked about the gorgeous weather. Now time to talk about the big changes on the way. We have 3 first alert weather days in the forecast next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So if you're watching Courtney Jacobazzi this morning, you probably noticed that she did add a first alert weather day for Wednesday. It was looking like Tuesday was a big day, a break Wednesday, Thursday was a big day as far as rain. But now it's looking like, yes, a few showers Monday, Tuesday, the first more widespread round of rain, mainly north of I-20 and mainly a before noon, before lunchtime sort of rain event. And then now looking like Wednesday, maybe late afternoon into the evening, leading and kind of bleeding into our Thursday, another round or 2 of rain. I think Tuesday, mainly just light showery sort of rains. Wednesday into Thursday, heavier rains and embedded thunderstorms back in the first alert forecast. So do keep that in mind. Risk of severe weather locally is low, relatively, but we do still have a risk of strong to marginally severe thunderstorms in the first alert forecast as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Thunder, pretty much a guarantee in a few neighborhoods. Severe weather, it's not a guarantee, but a possibility, something we'll be watching here. I think the greater risk is well to our southwest as we get into the day Wednesday, and then Wednesday night, Thursday, mainly to our south and east, coastal Georgia, Midlands of South Carolina, coastal South Carolina, on up into North Carolina, northern Florida. But we will need to keep an eye on it. So we do know that there's going to be some heavy rain in the forecast and widespread rain at that will be occasionally heavy. In fact, we can bring the same graphic back and talk about forecast rainfall totals. And again, this is a look at the next 5 days. So now through about, let's say, Thursday evening or so. This is just one run of one forecast model, but painting the picture here for you. Anywhere you see the red shading over the next 5 days, so between Monday morning and, let's say, Thursday night or so, 3 to 5 inches of rain. The orange, 2 to 3 inches of rain. The yellow, 1 to 2 inches of rain. So pretty much everybody 1 to 5 inches of rain. The majority of that falling Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Wednesday night into Thursday. So heavy rain. Once again, it could be some localized flooding, our typical trouble spots. We are going to need to keep an eye on area creeks and rivers as we get into especially our Wednesday and our Thursday rain event, because we've had some stormy weather. I mean, we had heavy rain the other night, especially the south side, some of the same areas that could see the heaviest rain this time. So soils are relatively saturated. I know we're greening it up out there, and of course, as the bushes and the trees, they come out of their dormancy, they need all the water they can get, and they will tend to soak up more water, so less will run off. But Still, though, the setup is there for some flooding and some rises on area creeks and rivers. I do want to focus, again, this is Wednesday, one of the 3 first alert weather days, and then I think one of the more impactful days, Wednesday evening in particular, widespread rain returns to the area. You see the yellow and the orange. This is forecast radar. So basically a snapshot, an instantaneous snapshot of what radar will look like. And anywhere you see yellows and oranges, that's heavy rain, that's thunderstorm activity. Heavy rain is likely. A few strong storms are possible, not looking like the most favorable severe weather setup, but as the other night proved, it doesn't have to be the most ideal setup to get 1 or 2 instances of severe weather, and it's going to be a possibility. We can't totally remove that possibility off the table, so we'll be watching it pretty closely. And all we are asking you to do at home, wherever you're streaming from, if it's in North Georgia, if you have interest here, go ahead and keep an eye on the forecast. Again, if you have outdoor plans, especially Wednesday afternoon, evening into Thursday for area wide, and then Tuesday, especially north of I-20 and especially before noon, so we're watching a Tuesday morning commute. Those right now are the most likely time periods for rain, and Wednesday into Thursday, heavy rain and some thunderstorms in the first alert forecast. But, of course, as you've noticed, we had to add the first alert weather day Wednesday. First alert weather day just meaning a day that has weather that will have you thrown off your routine a bit, whether it be a big change in temperature and you have to change the wardrobe, make sure your students are wearing what they need to stay comfortable going to school, or a risk of severe weather like the other day, or widespread, rain that'll just kind of dampen those plans and make it harder to get out and about and do your errands and commit to that routine through the day. So in this instance, we're watching Tuesday in particular, kind of a showery rain, slower morning commute. Heads up, you may need some more minutes in your morning drive. Wednesday into Thursday, the risk of heavier rain, maybe some travel impacts. Wednesday evening commute could be very slow. And again, a couple strong storms of possibility Wednesday night into Thursday, where we will want you to be alert to that possibility as well, hence the first alert weather day. I think by Thursday afternoon, evening, we're starting to dry out, and then a brief shot of some, and I don't want to say cooler air, but mainly drier air. And you'll notice that Friday morning back to 40s, lower 50s, feeling just a little bit more pleasant, kind of cool and crisp outside. Same into Saturday. Look at Saturday's forecast again. Thankfully, we've kind of switched up our timing here a little bit, and now looking like these storm systems are impacting us mainly during the work week. We were on a stretch there for about 3, 4, 5 weekends in a row with showers and thunderstorms. Now we're looking at work week rain and storms, and then drier, sunnier weekend, 78 and full sunshine next Saturday afternoon, about a week from today. And, of course, eyes on the eclipse. Locally, only 80% coverage, so it's a partial eclipse. And I will tell you, I was in Texas in 2017, and we had about 70 to 80% coverage in August of 2017 during that eclipse. And you could barely notice a difference. It looked just a little bit kind of, when it's very hazy outside and it just kind of like a dim sunlight or slightly dim sunlight. That's about the only difference I noticed. So for us, not a big spectacle, and we will have clouds in the forecast Monday, and some will be dealing with rain Monday. It says spotty rain, 20% chance Monday in Atlanta, but our mountain community is more likely to see some scattered rain showers along with the increase in clouds. So long story short, not the best viewing here. For those in Texas, Arkansas, and in that area on up through Missouri that will experience totality and will get dark, unfortunately, they will be dealing with not only clouds, but a risk of severe storms, rain, widespread wet weather. Not the prettiest of setups for them. So if you know anyone going to Austin, Fredericksburg, Dallas, Fort Worth area on into, McAlester, Oklahoma, Little Rock, Arkansas, those areas, they will be dealing with clouds. Not the best setup for to see totality and to have, the really cool optical, setup that you have there, but it'll still get dark. It'll just be cloudy and dark. It'll be a cloudy nighttime there. That's what it will look like. Kevin, hello to you. Not much on my end, just forecasting the weather. Kevin, gorgeous weather this weekend. As we get into next week, bigger changes on the way with rain back in the forecast as we get into as early as, Monday for some mountain communities looking at you. And then for everyone else, Tuesday, Wednesday, especially into Thursday. Isra, hello to you. Thanks for watching. Kevin, again, let me know where you're commenting from, where you're watching from. And Isra, let me know where you're watching from as well, even if it's outside of North Georgia and the Atlanta area. Would love to say hey. And if you're around the country and you need a forecast as well, feel free to give me a holler. Again, I'm chatting with people right now on YouTube. Atlanta News First is the account to like and to follow to be alerted to streams like this one on Atlanta News First Plus, whether it be breaking news, chatting about the first alert forecast in greater detail than we can on normal TV or anything else going on here. Of course, we stream big events as well here that are occurring across North Georgia, Metro Atlanta. I want to remind you that we actually do have another big event coming up on Monday. Eclipse coverage here from Atlanta News First, and I will be joined by Joylyn Nakrin, digital anchor here, and we're going to be interviewing some folks, passing along some great information, and then also tossing to our company-wide. We have television stations, our parent company, all across the nation, and many in totality, in the path of totality. So some really cool coverage coming up here, both on Atlanta News First and streaming on Atlanta News First Plus during Eclipse time Monday, early to mid-afternoon. Kevin is commenting from Detroit. Let's talk about the weather up there right now. I know you all kind of had a return of winter up in parts of that area, with especially as you get over towards Chicago and areas just to your west, actually seeing a little bit of later season snow. Right now, though, fairly decent weather across the nation, not too much going on. Let's pull up satellite and radar and talk about what's going on. You will have some rain and some changeable weather as well up in Detroit, up in Michigan, because of this storm system. You can already see it spinning away up here. This is headed your way. Showers and thunderstorms ahead of it. A little bit of wraparound wintry weather. And we're actually going to see another system kind of spin its way here over the desert southwest. And that is why we're expecting more shower and thunderstorm activity to fill in across the southern plains and Mississippi River Valley, portions of the Ohio River Valley, and even the desert southwest. A big wind in some areas behind the dry line, and then ahead of that where you have enough moisture and lift, those clouds will grow tall enough, widespread rain, especially in the white highlighted area. Though getting into North Georgia and Metro Atlanta as we get in, especially into Wednesday and our Thursday. I want to thank you all for watching. Again, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin, and you can always reach out to me on social media, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search the name below, Cutter Martin, Cuttermartin. Not just me, the entire First Alert Weather team, First Alert Meteorologist Ella Dorsey, Courtney Jacobazzi, Rodney Harris, Fred Campagna, Patrick Pete, myself, and First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez, all here to keep you updated. So find us on social media. Shoot us a message if you have a weather question. We are back on TV with anchors Carly Burnett and Tori Cooper, starting at 10 p.m. on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate. And then coming up once again, back on for the late news, Atlanta News First, hopefully on time tonight at 11 p.m. And you can always grab a check of the forecast in the First Alert weather app and at atlantanewsfirst.com. We're going to leave you with a gorgeous view of the Atlanta skyline. Just a few high wispy clouds out there. Dry, cool, pleasant evening. First Alert weather days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, risk of heavy rain and maybe some thunderstorms. Greatest Wednesday and Thursday. Check in with us through the work week. Keep an eye on that First Alert forecast.